Hello internet, Harris here, and today I don't necessarily want to show you this, although I will, but I want to talk to you about this. Now, before I even start, let me make something perfectly clear. I'm filming on a new location. This is improvised. I will probably overlay something here so that you can see the mess that I had to go through just to get this video out. But I really wanted to get this out because what I actually want to talk about is this thing over here. So you have probably heard the news. Mega Man Wily Wars is being rerun by limited run games. And as a collector, you might be tempted to try to get an original copy of the game. And these things go for quite a lot of money, a few $100s. And usually what you get is something that looks a lot like this. Now, this is a, what is it called? A bootleg, a pirate copy. This is not a legit copy of the game. Legit copies of the game look a lot more like this. I'll talk a lot more about that in a second, but before I do that, this thing that you see in the middle, it says Mega Man, not Rockman, and that's because this is a reproduction. The game actually never made it outside of Japan, at least not physically. There's a long story, you can probably look it up on the internet. But yeah, so this is what a reproduction copy looks like, if I can figure out how to open it. There you go. The quality is quite decent. I have never taken this thing out. The quality is quite decent. Hopefully this thing is focusing. But yeah, so with reproductions, if it says Mega Man, you know that it's a reproduction, it's not the real thing. So I just wanted to show you this to let you know that these ones exist. This one should be a lot cheaper to get. But what you really don't want to get is one of these that is trying to be like one of this. This is a legit copy. This is not a legit copy, as you can tell by the colors. Now, you might be thinking, well, obviously, it's not a legit copy just by looking at the colors. But what if all you had was this? You didn't have this or the other one. And you know, the game is quite old, so yeah, it looks kinda like the colors are degraded. And keep in mind, when they sell you these things, there are plenty of copies like this flooding all over the internet, Amazon, eBay, you name it. They have, there is somebody trying to sell you this as a legit copy, and they sell it as new. They even sell it, you know, wrapped in the plastic thingy, so that to tell you this is completely new, and they sell it for like $200, $300. And they're trying to convince you that it's new and legit, and their hope is that you're not gonna open this, so that you're not going to figure out that it's not legit. So what I want to do with this video is show you how you can tell whether or not what you're buying is legit or not. And well, obviously the original one, just looking at the print quality, you should be able to tell on the outside without even having to open the thing. But I will encourage you open it, because there are plenty more clues that clearly tell you that this thing is not legit. But yeah, just look at the print quality. Again, I will probably overlay some pictures in here that show you how crappy this print is. This looks like something you can do with your own printer. Same in the back here. You can see that the fine print here is really clear. It's very easy to read here. It looks like it's bleeding or blurry, or it's really hard to well, it's not, yeah, it's really hard to read here. This one is very easy to read, especially if you're not old like me. And yeah, and the whole thing has this red tint to it. Now, this one is not the best reproduction that I've seen. I've bought others, and they have been a lot more like the real thing. So just by looking at the box itself, it's not gonna be enough for you to tell whether or not what you're buying is legit. And that's one of the many reasons why I always open whatever things I buy. Even though in some video I was opening a graded thing, and some friend was making fun of me for that. But I have no regrets because it could be a scam thing. So yeah, the next thing that once you open it, the next thing that you will immediately notice is that these things are wrapped in the same kind of plastic paper thing, which in a real cartridge they're not. They, as far as I know, I didn't have a Genesis growing up, but as far as I know, these things never came wrapped in plastic. This is what you see here is what you actually got when you bought a Genesis game. This plastic thing itself, it looks like something you yourself can get on Office Depot or something like that. So, and yeah, once you start digging deeper, yeah, Exhibit A or B or C, I don't know which one we are at right now. The manuals themselves look quite different, especially, I mean, just looking at the print quality, this one looks like something I will print, whereas this one looks like something you will get from a manual. And now, this is another thing I just realized I forgot to mention, and this might sound a little bit creepy, but when you open the boxes and you smell them, and yes, I do smell my game boxes, this one smells like your regular DVD Blu-ray case. If you buy pirated DVDs and Blu-rays, those are gonna smell like this thing. If you know that pirate DVD case smell, this thing smells just like that. It's kind of like charcoal, some weird chemicals that no legit game or media has. That distinctive smell you can find on this thing, but not the real deal. Similar with the manuals. If you smell this thing, it smells like a book, you know, an old book, because obviously these games are very old. It's like 20, 30 years by now. But this thing smells like ink, which again goes to tell you how little effort they put behind it. Even worse, you may not be able to notice it here, but this thing is much thicker than this thing. So, and the reason for that is because they took some cost reduction measures. 1 second. So I'm destroying my improvised workspace. Yeah, so this is the legit thing, and if you open the crappy one, you can clearly tell they were desperate to save as much money as possible. So you can see here that this thing over here, this 1/4 of the manual, is actually this page, you know, copied and then minified to make it fit here. If you keep looking over here, well, first of all, I didn't figure out where they took these pictures from, but if you just keep going through the fake manual, if I can figure out how to do it, you see, yeah, this page was put into 1/4 over here, this other page was put over here, the next page got put on the next corner, and so on and so forth. So basically they put 4 pages of the actual manual on every manual, on every page of the crappy manual. And again, their hope is that you're never going to open these things, because you're buying this as new, unopened. So if you don't open the box, you will never realize that this is fake, and you just paid $300 for a fake copy of Rockman Mega World. I was gonna say something else. Yeah, again, just by looking at the box, some boxes are much better fakes. So the box itself is not gonna tell you. Now, Exhibit B. The cartridge itself also looks like crap. Again, let's compare this to the real deal. So, again, the print quality of the label is much better in the original than it is in the crappy one, in the crappy copy. Not only that, in this one you cannot see it. I had a different one that I returned, but I'll see if I can give you some better quality pictures, but I have one where the corners of the label itself were clearly cut manually, and this one is really hard to tell. Excuse me, it's really hard to tell. This one is a much better reproduction, but yeah, just by looking at the print quality, you can tell that this one was made with a regular printer. This one was not, and sometimes the corners. No, and this one is actually a very good. It's much better. I had another one where the corners were just cut with scissors. You could tell that a human just cut the thing. And last but not least, again, because these are very old games, the materials are starting to age, and you can clearly tell, or maybe you cannot tell because of the angle. I'll see if I can overlay pictures here, but the original one is getting brown because of the age. This one is all greenish and looks like new. Obviously, they are selling it to you as new, but I don't know. It just doesn't look the same. It clearly looks like something different. Even the height of the PCB is much shorter than this one, probably because they were making these things cost reduced to try to save as much money as possible. Let's compare that to the reproduction cartridge, actually. Yeah, even the reproduction cartridge is all brownish compared to the crappy cartridge. And what else? I think that's it. I think that's all the things I wanted to say. I hope you find this video informative, and I hope that if you fell victim to one of these scams, you get your money back. Again, you have to be very careful. This is the internet. So yeah, that's it for today. Again, hope this works for you. Hope this gave you some useful information. And as always, if you appreciate me messing up my collection so that you can see it, please give me a like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell the whole world about this channel. Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you around.